Hello students. Today we are going to discuss some MCQs of the chapter Government Budget and the Economy. So let's start with our questions. Our first question is the span of financial year in India is from dash to dash. So students, in this question we have to fill up that a financial year starts from which month and goes on till which month. So our options are, the first option is 31st March and till 1st April. The option number B is from 30th April to 30th March. The option number C is from 3rd April to 31st March, and the option number D is from 1st April to 31st March. So students, as we all know that in India, our financial year starts from 1st April and it goes on till 31st March of the next year. So the correct option is option number D. That is, the span of financial year in India is from 1st April to 31st March. Now let's move on to the question number second. The question number second. Read the following statements given below and choose the correct alternative. So students, in this question we have two statements. So we have to read the two statements and we have to choose the correct alternative. The statement 1 says economic stability refers to the absence of fluctuation in the prices of goods and services. So students, the statement is absolutely correct, as we all know that economic stability is a condition where your economy is stable and there is no changes in the prices, or I can say there are no major fluctuations in the prices of goods and services. So the statement 1 is absolutely correct. If I talk about statement number 2 says economic instability discourages investment. So that is also correct, because in an economy where there is so much of instability or where your economy is not stable, no one would like to do any kind of investment, because in that economy it would be difficult to predict the return on investment, right? So the statement number 2 is absolutely correct, that economic instability would discourage investment. So the correct option would be option number A, that both the statements are correct. Now let's move on to the question number third. In question number third, we have basically two columns, column A and column B. So in this we have to find out that which pair is correctly matched. So let's start with the very basic one. So as we all know that in our budget we have basically two types of deficit. The one is revenue deficit and the second one is fiscal deficit. So for the option number 4, the correct pair would be C. Okay, if we move on to the option number third, so we all know that balanced budget is a situation where my budget expenditure is equals to my budget receipt. So my correct pair would be option number B. Okay, for deficit budget, we know that deficit budget is used by underdeveloped countries. So the correct pair would be option number D. And for surplus budget, we know that it is used to rectify the situation of inflation. So the correct pair would be A. So we can see them in the options available. So we can say that the correct option is option number A, because it is correctly paired. Now let's move on to the question number 4. The question number 4 says that read the following statement given below and choose the correct alternative. So the statement 1 is the receipt shows the different sources from which government raises revenue. So students, as we all know that the receipts are basically the different source of revenue of the government, right? So the statement 1 is absolutely correct, because the receipt column only shows that from where the government can raise revenue. The statement number 2 says the receipts are of two types, that is revenue receipt and capital receipt. So yes, the statement number 2 is also correct, that we have also already seen this, that revenue and capital, these are the two major receipts that the government raises. The revenue receipt is basically recurring in nature, and capital receipt is basically non-recurring in nature. So the correct option would be the option number A, that both are correct. Our question number 5 is, read the following statement given below and choose the correct alternative. So, our first assertion is, to increase the rate of investment, the government makes direct investment in public sector units. So, students, our assertion is totally correct, because to increase the level of investment or to increase the rate of investment, the government do invest in the public sector, so that it can motivate more and more investment, or it can induce more and more investment in the economy. Second, the reason, investment by the government induces the private sector to make investment. So that reason is also correct, because when the government makes investment or the government do investment in the economy, it motivates the private sector to do investment in the economy. As we all know that the government provide basic infrastructure in the economy, so that it can help private sectors to make investment or to establish other essential factories or industries in the economy. So the correct option would be the option number A, that both assertion and reason are true, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Now let's move on to the question number 6. The question number 6 is, we have one assertion, government imposes high rate of taxes on higher income groups. So the assertion is also correct. The government, as we all know, the government imposes high taxes on high income groups. Yes, because we have this progressive taxation system where the person who is earning more will have to pay more. And the reason for this assertion is, low income groups are unable to high taxes. That is also correct, that the person who don't have such income or who are earning low won't be able to pay high taxes. So that's why the government uh, put more taxes on that group which are earning well, so that there is a situation of economic equality in the economy, right? So we can say that there is an equal distribution of income in the economy. So the correct option for this question will be the option number A, because both assertion and reason are true, and reason is the correct explanation of the assertion. Now let's move on to the question number 7. Now, the question number 7, government budget is prepared at. So, as we all know that budget is prepared at all the levels, at central level, state level, and local level, right? So the correct option would be D, all of these, because government prepares budget at all the levels, but for us, because we are in just class 12, so we are studying the government budget of central level only, but otherwise the government prepare budget at all the levels. Now next move on to the question number 8. The question number 8 is, identify the correct statement from the given alternatives. We have different alternatives, and now we have to identify that which alternative is correct or which statement is correct. Our first statement is, government offers various types of concessions for production in backward areas. So yeah, this is totally correct, because as to improve your economic condition or to have a regional equality in the economy, government do give some concessions like tax holidays or subsidies on electricity and your water supply, so that more and more industries can set up in backward areas. So statement 1 is correct. The statement 2 says, tax receipts are used to grant subsidy to poor class. That is also correct, because in reallocation of resources, government try to allocate your tax receipts to the to provide subsidies to the poor people. So the statement B is also correct. So we can say that both of these statement is correct. So the correct option would be the option number C, where both A and B are correct. Now let's move on to the question number 9. Which of the following is not a capital receipt? Okay students, first let's understand what is a capital receipt. Any receipt by which either there is an decrease in your asset or there is an increase in your liability, that will be treated as a capital receipt. Any receipt which causes either your decrease in asset or that will increase your liability would be treated as your capital receipt. So if we talk about borrowings, by borrowings or by receiving borrowings, our liability would increase, so it won't be a, so it is a capital receipt. Then by disinvestment, our assets reduce, so that is also a capital receipt. Then investment in financial and physical assets. But by investing in financial and physical assets, our assets would increase, right? Our asset would increase. So this is not a capital receipt. So the correct option would be B, the option number B. Now, question number 10. Government budget is a financial statement of. But as we all know that government budget is basically the estimated receipts and expenditure of the government. It is a statement in which government estimates the receipts and the expenditures of the fiscal year. So for this question, the correct option would be option number C, that it represents or it shows the estimated receipts and the expenditure of the government of the fiscal year. Now let's move on to the question number 11. In question number 11, basically we have this case. We have here we have certain definitions of certain topics or certain headings. So in this we have to just read this case and then you have to answer questions. So I'll just move on to the questions. You can simply read the case and on the basis of these case we can have some questions. Okay, so our first question is, which of the statements are correct? So in the following statement, you have to identify that which of the following statements are correct. The first statement is budget receipts are government receipts. So yeah, the statement is correct because these receipts are received by the government only. Capital expenditure creates assets. That is also correct because by doing capital expenditure, either our asset would increase or our liability will decrease. Option number third is revenue expenditure doesn't cause reduction in liability. Yes, this is also correct because revenue expenditure is done basically for the operation of your economy. It doesn't affect asset or liability of your economy. So the correct option or the correct answer would be option number D because all of the above statement are correct. Now let's move on to the question number 12. Dash either creates liability or reduces asset. So bache, from the following options you have to identify that which transaction or which receipt or expenditure would creates liability or reduces asset. So if I talk about capital receipt, so capital receipt is basically that receipt which either reduces my asset or which will increase my liability. Revenue receipt is basically that receipt which neither create any asset or reduce any asset for me or increase my liability. Capital expenditure would either increase my asset or reduce my liability, and revenue expenditure would neither increase my asset or reduce my liability. So as we can see, the correct option would be option A. So the capital receipts would neither create liability or reduces assets of the government. Now let's move on to the question number 13. Dash are the estimated receipts of the government from various sources during a fiscal year. So, बच्चे, what are the estimated receipts or what we call the estimated receipts of the government, right? So, the estimated receipts of the government are known as your budget receipts. So, budget receipts are basically the receipts which the government is expecting from different sources during a fiscal year. So the correct option would be option number C, that is budget receipts. Now let's move on to the question number 14. Which of the following are true for revenue expenditure? So here we have a few statements. Now we have to identify that which of the following statement is true for revenue expenditure. So revenue expenditure creates assets? No, revenue expenditure will neither create asset or nor reduce any liability. Basically, revenue transaction doesn't affect your asset or liability. So the second option is reduces liability. No, this is also not correct because revenue expenditure would never affect your liability or your asset. So it doesn't reduce liability. So yes, this is correct because revenue expenditure would neither reduce my liability or not create any asset. So the correct option would be option number C. Now let's move on to the question number 15. Our question number 15 is which of the following are examples of revenue receipts? So students, for this question, first you need to understand that what is the meaning of revenue receipt. So revenue receipt is basically those receipts which will neither reduce my assets nor increase my liability. So any receipt which will not have any impact basically on my asset or my liability would be treated as my revenue receipt. So first of all, if we talk about income tax, so income tax, if it's received by the government, so it won't affect the asset or the liability of the government because by receiving income tax, the asset of the government is not reduced or the liability of the government is not increased. Same with the corporation tax. The same tax which is received by the any company is known as a corporation tax. So corporation tax also neither reduces the asset of the government nor increases the liability of the government. And same with the estates. If the government receives estates, in that case also the asset of the government is not reduced and the liability is not increased. So the correct option for this question will be the option number D because all of these are basically the revenue receipts for the government. I hope you like these questions. For more content, then please visit our website arinjaacademy.com/economics. And for more MCQs, you can just directly contact us or WhatsApp us on the same this number. And if you have any doubt or any query, you can just comment down below. Thank you.